Clone Commandos were among the greatest soldiers to fight in the Clone Wars, and some hidden information from the season finale of The Bad Batch, which I've seen nobody talking about, actually gives a hint at a very strange future for these super soldiers. Now, we don't know a whole lot about Clone Commando lore in Star Wars canon, but in Legends, Clone Commandos were selectively bred and trained to be among the best warriors in the Republic's army. They were incredibly effective throughout the Clone Wars, and Clone Commandos squads were typically used for the most dangerous and secretive missions that the Clone Army was responsible for, often with squads operating without greater support from the rest of Republic forces. Clone Commandos were also very independent and strong-willed, so with Order 66 happening, the big question is, what does the Republic do with these squads of free-thinking super soldiers? Well, in Star Wars Legends, some Clone Commando squads actually refused to follow Order 66, and this is impressive because this was actually lore from a time before the idea of an inhibitor chip existed. Clones just generally followed orders. Clone Commandos didn't usually do this because they were sentimental, but rather because they didn't see the tactical utility for killing Jedi. Those who did follow Order 66 were integrated into the Imperial military, and we know that some squads served in Imperial Special Forces roles, whether as Imperial Commandos or in the 501st or whatever else. Star Wars canon is taking a different approach, and we actually know at least what happened to some Clone Commandos. However, before we get into that, we do have a sponsor for today's video. Today's video is brought to you by Noom, a behavior change innovator which leverages psychology and science to help people live the healthy, fulfilling lives they deserve. What's that mean? Well, Noom is all about not only losing weight, but also just being healthy through psychology and healthy habit changing. It works and it lasts. Noom helps you learn how your mind works, the why behind the decisions you make, and how to make real and lasting changes. There's everything from a food database so you can track your nutrition traditionally, but also a psychological-based curriculum that you won't get from ordinary weight loss programs. And my favorite aspect of Noom is that it's all grounded in evidence-based science, so you know you're not buying snake oil. Additionally, with Noom, you'll have a personal goal specialist, a real person trained in psychology, fitness, and nutrition, and you'll have access to like-minded peers through a group chat. So right now you can click the link in the description for your free evaluation. It's quick, easy, and will help you create your custom health plan. Thanks to Noom for sponsoring today's video. Now on with the content. Anyway, back on topic. It's important to recognize Star Wars canon has a different process for Order 66. Clones, of course, were subject to the inhibitor chip. Some inhibitor chips malfunctioned or are malfunctioning. And given the fact that clones were dropped from regular forces roles really quickly in the Imperial military, it seems like there may be a forthcoming clone rebellion or clone purge. Alright, first of all, the stuff that's obvious from The Bad Batch. Some Clone Commandos have been sent to train the next generation of Imperial Stormtroopers, or rather the first true generation of Stormtroopers. We saw that at least 50 Clone Commandos were at the secret Imperial base on Daro training the TK Troopers, but much more interesting to me is what we get in the final scene of the season finale. We get clone troopers escorting Kaminoan scientist Nala Se to Mount Tantus, and although you may not notice anything different about these troopers, if you look carefully, they have a gray stripe going down their armor. Now, I didn't think much of this. However, later, after the episode aired, we got the Kamino Lost episode guide on StarWars.com, and if you go into the episode guide, you can see production art for the Clone Commandos, and we see something interesting here. The asset for these troopers is labeled the Imperial Royal Guard. Alongside that, we also get a closer look at the emblem on the right shoulder pad of the Clone Commando, and that's a new emblem to Star Wars. Presumably, that's maybe an emblem for the Imperial Royal Guard. I'm going to assume so, because these clones definitely have a unique armor. So, what does that mean? Is an Imperial Royal Guard the same thing as the Emperor's Royal Guards, the guys in red that, of course, we all know from Return of the Jedi and other places? Well, I think that's very possible. For one, the Royal Guards are often called Imperial Royal Guards, the exact same title we have here, and we also know that Royal Guards have always been described as pretty much the best warriors in Star Wars. We get an entire comic series about that with Crimson Empire. It goes over their training and how only the best of the best can go on to actually serve Palpatine. That's the question we'll be answering today. We'll look at the evidence that clone commandos may actually end up serving Palpatine directly. And we do also know that even during the days of the Republic, that Palpatine sort of converted the Senate Guard and the Coruscant Guard into a personal protection detail, so him continuing to do so now with clone commandos I think makes sense. Of course, Palpatine did have his Red Guards even during the Clone Wars. I'm not saying that the Republic Commandos now were the first Imperial Guards, but it makes sense that they were supplementing the ranks after their role of Clone Commando was being phased out, alongside some, of course, being used in this new teaching and instruction role. Either way, it's clearly not a mistake, and I don't think it's a coincidence that these new Clone Commandos are listed as Imperial Royal Guards, something that already exists in Star Wars, especially when Star Wars and Lucasfilm obviously knows that this gallery is going to be seen. This was actually the same place where the Mount Tantus connection was confirmed. So overall, I just think it's really interesting, and it's sort of a microcosm of how the clones were used by Palpatine initially. They were designed to be protectors of the Republic, but in the end, they're being used simply for his personal goals. And I think that also indicates that the Mount Tantus project going on at the end of season 1 is clearly something very secretive. These are royal guards being set out. That to me indicates that this project is very close to Palpatine personally and perhaps even secret. That makes the appearance of the Kaminoan cloners in this show and of course The Mandalorian and more all that more interesting to me. Anyway guys, that's all I have for you today. Let me know, what do you think about this revelation? Do you think it makes sense for clone commandos to serve as Palpatine's guard? For me personally, yes, for the reasons I mentioned, and the short version of that being clone commandos were always among the best fighters of the Republic. The same is true of Imperial Guards. It's a pretty seamless transition in my opinion. Anyway guys, be safe, have a good one, and may the Force be with you.